Junie B. First Grader, Cheater Pants. Chapter 3, Twitching. Finally, we got to the row right next to mine. That is where Jose and Lenny sit. When Jose's turn came, he smiled, very proud. He said on Saturday his daddy bought him a brand new soccer shoes, and he wore them to his soccer game, and then he kicked the winning goalie with those things. Lenny was next. He said he got brand new hair gel, plus also he got thickening cream. A thickening cream can make even the thinnest hair feel rich and full, he said. Whoa, I said. Whoa, said Jose and Herb. Whoa is what we say to be supportive. May sits behind Lenny. She stood up and she read her paper real loud. This weekend, one thing I did for fun was, on Saturday, I made a pot in my pottery class, and after that, I was punctual to my ballet class, and the teacher said I danced like a gazelle. Mr. Scary did a chuckle. A gazelle, huh? He said. A gazelle is a very graceful animal, isn't it? Yes, it is, said May. Would you like to see me do a few steps? After that, she ran to the front of the room, and she started to do ballet, but Mr. Scary said to please sit down again. As soon as she got back, I jumped up. My turn, I said real thrilled. I tapped on my chin. Okay, well, let's see now. On Saturday, my grandpa Frank Miller came to babysit me, and he let me roller skate in the house. Plus, also, he let me jump on my mother's bouncy bed. Only pretty soon I got very pooped. And so I ran into the kitchen and I drank chocolate milk right out of the carton. Without even a glass, I mean. Whoa, said Herb. Whoa, said Lenny and Jose. Mr. Scary raised his hand to interrupt me. Excuse me, Junie B, he said. It sounded like you had a great time on Saturday, but I'm wondering why you're not reading from your homework paper. Just then my heart got real poundy and nervous because I should have thought about that problem. I swallowed real hard. Well, you see, I said kind of quiet, why aren't I reading? Mr. Scary smiled. It's all right, he said. You can start over. Just take out your paper and read what you wrote. After that, I stood very frozen, and I couldn't even move. Mr. Scary crossed his arms at me. You do have your homework paper, don't you, Junie B? He asked next. I stood there for a little while longer. Then, finally, I reached into my desk. And I pulled out the homework I copied from May. I waved in the air, kinda weakish. Here it is, I said. Here's my homework paper. See it? It's right here. Mr. Scary nodded. Yes, good. Now could you read it for us, please? He asked. I took a deep breath and then I looked down at my paper and I read it silently, just to myself. Okay, done, I said. And after that I sat down real quick and I stuffed that paper into my desk. Mr. Scary came back to where I sat. He said, can I please see that paper? I felt shaky and sickish inside. Very slow, I took out my paper again and I handed it over. After he read it, he shook his head. Then he took my hand and he walked me to the hall. It seems that you and May had very similar weekends, doesn't it, Junie B? He said. I did a gulp. Yeah, I said. It does. Mr. Scary read the paper once more. So, you did take a pottery class, do you? He said. I rocked back and forth on my feet. Yep, I do, I said. I take pottery class and I make little, well, you know, pots. Mr. Scary breathed real deep. And let's see, you take a ballet class too, huh? He said. And gee, what a coincidence. On Saturday, your teacher said you danced like a gazelle, I said real fast. Gazelle, said Mr. Scary. Whatever, I said. My teacher sucked in his cheeks and looked at the paper again. Huh. And you were punctual too? He said. That's amazing, isn't it? I looked up at him. Well, you know, Not if you get an early start, I said real soft. Mr. Scary bent down next to me. His face was not jolly. Junie B. Jones, do you have any idea how disappointed I am in you right now? Just then, tears came into my eyes, and I didn't even expect that trouble. I quick tanked my head so he couldn't see me. Sorry, I said. Sorry you're disappointed. Mr. Scary took a big breath. He said we would talk more at recess. Then he gave me a tissue from his pocket and I wiped my tears. After that, we went back to the room. I sat down at my desk, very slumping, because, what do you know? I didn't luck out after all. That was chapter 3. That was a good one. Chapter 4 is called Cheater Pants. We'll have to see what's going to happen.